What's going on, fam? I'm back to break the ice with these deep discussions and books and building, learning and growing, of course. Same old same. Scythe has been busy doing a whole lot of running around, jumping up and down, crawling, like I'm in the military or something, boot camp. But I feel like that. But back to the books. The book club has not failed. I've not given up. And at the end of the day, if people don't look at it, people don't like it, hey, I'm learning, I'm staying consistent on reading books and growing and getting smarter. Hey, so it's a win-win in my opinion. So the book that I'm focusing on right now is Foundational Black American Race Baiter. It's a book written by Tariq Nasheed, a good brother, very intelligent, smart. Definitely should check out his book. Also, his documentaries. Definitely documentaries that you will definitely like, and it's good history, and a lot of things have been taught that a lot of people don't see on a regular, going way back, and not the basic of African American history and stuff like that. I also want to. I will be working on a trace back of history, so it'll be a few books that I'll be buying and getting, kind of starting back some from Africa all the way to Sapiens and all that type of stuff, deep stuff. And also what's the next thing? It was, lost my train of thought. See, when you're moving too fast. So gotta slow it down a little bit. Oh, so basically we're gonna dive into some of the basic stuff from the book that I've read. From what I read in the chapters that I've broken down. But this is what it was. Just came back to me. I know I had to get that, recycle that again. So it's a lot reading the whole book when it comes to a book club. So right now, of course, I don't have certain people breaking down the book with me and stuff like that. So it's just me. So I'm reading by myself. But I will be reading multiple books at a different time. I won't just focus on one book anymore because it's just too much. It's not too much, but I kind of want to dive into different type of books. So I won't be finishing one book at a time unless I'm working with somebody and we're breaking the book down together. But right at this moment, I will be reading important books to me that I want to learn, that I want to get some knowledge from, and break them down. And it's not going to be just one book that I focus on and then go on to the next book like I did in the past. Also, we're still in the business stuff. We haven't. I know I've been gone for a little bit. We're still in the business. I'm just diving into a little bit. I'm diving into history more right now, and for this book, Black history, of course, and we will get some more books from different subjects that's not just business and not just Black history, because stuff could, I want to talk about multiple different things, and a lot of people think this channel is just a business channel or is just one specific thing. It really isn't. I could talk about. I could read a book about relationships, or I could just talk about relationships. It's just about what's on my mind and where we're gonna go. It's not. It's not about being all over the place. It's about talking about the world and what's going on, because I have a lot of things diving into politics and breaking down a lot of stuff, which a lot of things kind of will connect with that today. But we got politics. We have sustainability. Finding ways to keep the steamship going, which I broke down in my first video. Check that out. And AI, artificial intelligence, that type of stuff. Learning about money, about what's going on in the future, what's the plan, how to stay ahead and how to know what's going on and don't just fall off into binge watching TV shows and stuck in that realm of Portal, and dealing with Transformers and Marvel movies, even though some truth into that stuff. But here we go. So first thing I wanted to talk about from that made me, but this is actually not even directly from the book. This is actually something that came to my mind when I was reading the book. So getting back to the roots of teaching your children in the home. So basically, So when they enter into so when they enter into the real world, they know how to fight against the bull crap that is being taught in the world today. So that's the first thing the first key point that I wanted to talk about today, because my main thing is, of course, I have a child, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, a lot of weird stuff, a lot of stuff that I disagree with, and that's just what it's going to be. I don't have to agree with everything in the world, and just like another person doesn't have to agree with everything in the world. Standing my ground on what I want to teach my children, and be around the family members that can deal with me and handle me, stuff like that. They know who I am and what I stand for, and it's not just going to be everybody just want to believe this and believe that, and that's cool. People have the right to believe what they want to believe, but that does not mean that I have to be converted to their religion. That's not basically not going to happen. So basically, one thing about children, I've noticed that it's a lot of parents, and I have a wife that's a teacher, of course. So I know just from talking to her about what she go through when she's doing the school year and stuff. So parents are not connecting with these teachers. That's one thing right there. They're not being involved in the children's life consistently when it comes to school and knowing who they're hanging around with. When it comes to even 5-4-year-olds, it doesn't matter. Like, you have to watch your kids, because some of these kids might be more ahead of your child when it comes to knowing about certain things, like, just for example, sex and stuff. Like, kids are moving way faster today, and you need to pay attention to these children. And you can't be just throwing your child out there. Oh, my baby, first day of school, and just, hey, here you go. Go ahead, start teaching them whatever he knows he's supposed to learn. And to teach them whatever you want to teach. These school systems going to teach them, but not what they supposed to learn. So, because you got to be involved as a parent, and you should want to be involved anyway. The parents that have been involved in their children's lives usually have children that turn out the best and feel the safest and most loved and stuff like that. So it's something that need to be done anyway. I talked about more anyway. So the kids are struggling today. I mean, and the parents are helping them struggle as well, because a lot of the parents are not being involved. So I have an example. For example, your child, when you're in school, it's not, these teachers are not babysitters. They're teachers. They have a job to teach your child, and yes, they do have a job to teach children. But you, as a parent, have a job to make sure your child is actually learning this stuff. So when they get homework and they come home, you just let your child go sit on the TV and watch Power and all these wild shows, and let the world teach them, when they should be doing other things that, especially for their age. You start breaking down the age of kind of getting back to the rated G to PG to PG-13 to rated R, the stuff that you should be watching. But then a lot of parents would be letting their 10-year-old watch something that they shouldn't be watching, basically, and they're seeing stuff that they shouldn't be thinking about right now. So of course, and then you have the internet and the social media, of course, and you let the kids have Facebook, Instagram, because they friend had this and that. So it's a lot. It's a lot thrown at parents, of course. It's not, and believe me, it's not an easy job. And of course, I'm not the super dad in the world. I have a baby, so I'm trying to just be ahead of these things before they come into my life, because I'm already aware of the bull crap that's going on, all the stuff that's putting in. I watch some of these kid movies, and I was watching Quantum Realm just now, like a few minutes ago. It was the Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I see like Disney a little weird. So my thing is, my child ain't watching no Disney. I know I could watch certain stuff, because I know what it is, and I know what's not going to be, my child not going to be watching, basically. So certain stuff I can tell, like, that shouldn't be said. Like, I one scene talking about, oh, I have 7 holes, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? This supposed to be a kid's movie, but I'm laughing at the same time. But I'm like, my child shouldn't be worried about all this type of stuff, like, it's a little weird, some of these little lines and stuff, but something that was more action, it wasn't too deep of no craziness, but you could just tell some of the stuff that they just be throwing in these movies, these little slick these little scenes, it could be 5 or 30 minutes or to 5 minutes or something like that. Like just it could be something real quick, and you need to know what your children are watching. But that crossed my mind before while I was reading the book, because I just feel like a lot of parents are not connecting with their kids, and they just give them a program to watch, or they just give them things to do, and we all fall into it because technology is just the hot thing today. And believe me, I got my child watching a show, Bino and Fino. That man watching way too much. I'm like about to chop that down a little bit. Like it's just so much more parents got to do. It's got to step up on it. But the next thing, let me dive deeper more into the book. So the title basically, foundational Black American Race Baiter. I have it right next to me. I had to look at it again for a second. Basically breaking down what I got from the book so far, breaking it down from what is a foundational Black American. I would basically say that a foundational Black American is a person that is descendant from slaves in America, and the people that have basically, from the people that built America, basically the Black people that built America. This could be more, it could be more to it. So the next thing with that, I don't want to turn it into it's a battle of Black people. I know, the person in the book, has his own debates and personal life, and I agree to some things and I disagree with certain things. And believe me, I'm fine with people being a Pan-Africanist and a person that's being a foundational Black American, just understanding your lineage in America and stuff that we built in America as Black people. Like, yes, we all come from Africa, but it's a lot of stuff that Black Americans have built and they don't get the credit for, or don't get known for it as much. And people come from other countries, wanting to be hip, wanting to be just like certain people, wanting to be just like Black Americans, because that's kind of the cool thing in America, and it's nothing wrong with that. Everybody wants to be hip and have fun. It's cool. It's not a bad thing, but not to bash like our Pan-African people and stuff like that. So I know with this book it could get people going back and forth and stuff like that, and that's not what I want to do. That's not the goal of my channel. My channel is about reading, learning, getting the best knowledge I can from this book, and growing and using it when I need to use it. And it's not to bash Pan-Africanism. Like Pan-Africanist, I say nism, but Pan-Africans, I'm fine with people like that as well. Like I'm basically a foundational Black American / Pan-African. So that's kind of could be what it is. And all about learning about my history from Africa, history in America is that simple. The next thing, non-immigrants. So basically, what I got from the book, immigrants. Basically, you're not a foundational Black America if you're from the Caribbean, born in the Caribbean, stuff like that. And if you're from Africa, like Nigeria, Ghana, stuff like that. You come here, and you come to America, you live and you grow. We all come as a team, blah, blah, blah. Some people have disagreements. Some people look at foundational Black Americans differently than they are, or want the kids to stay away from certain people like us, and that's fine. It's cool. Do your thing if that's what you believe. But the goal about Black people in America, in my opinion, should be working on unity in any type of way, and it can be from just unity in the foundational Black American community and unity in the African community, because everybody wants to show that they got the best jollof rice, or they got the best this, or I'm better at this. And that's the problem with Black people. We need to learn how to work together more as a team instead of against each other, which is always going to be something to work on and a subject to talk about. But a person who is trying to come up with strategies for how to dismantle the system of racism, that is also foundational Black American. Let's see. So my key points says African and Caribbean groups go out of their way to distinguish themselves. For example, there are festivals and celebrations held in the United States like Puerto Rican Day, Jamaican Day, Carnival, Cinco de Mayo, things that like that celebrate their uniqueness of their distinct ethnic group and culture. So there's nothing wrong with these people celebrate. They're from other places and they celebrate, and they're also black as well, and they celebrate these places of their culture. And basically, as a foundation of Black America, when I got out of this book, is that there's nothing wrong with us celebrating being a foundational Black American. For example, creating hip hop, rocking the style of Jordans, stuff like that. That stuff comes all from here. And Black Americans has always respected that. So what the book so far is saying is that foundational Black Americans who recognize and celebrate and advocate for our own distinct ethnic group should be respected as well. So same thing I just said. We respect other people that come from different countries, and we should be respected as well. Not always judged, because we do get judged a lot. Like, I'm not a criminal, I'm not a drug dealer, I'm not a person that's in the streets making crazy moves. Like, I don't need no African person from Nigeria coming to just look at me and say, hey, he's a thug. Like, don't tell your kids like that's straight up foul. And I have nothing to say about anybody from a different country. Basically, that's bad. I have nothing from African country. I'm always interested in learning the culture and seeing what's new. So, let's learn and build. And I have friends from all over. So that's the good thing about me. I'm always welcoming to other people. Just don't bring the dumb shit. And Black Americans has always respected that. Already read that. Next one. Things that FBA fought for. Okay, so let's see. Have fought for the rights of other groups to come to our ancestral homeland and enjoy all the tangible benefits. So, yes, Black Americans have fought for people to come to this country. All different type of people. Just about everybody that's considered itself a minority, I would say. But people don't give us that credit. And probably will never. But we will always be the ones the person to get the last bite of the last piece of the cake, or nothing, to be honest. But not always. We're always going to continue that fight, basically. But we always fight for other people, and I feel like sometimes, in my opinion, that's the problem with Black people anyway. We need to fight for ourselves. Black people in America need to work on... Black people in general need to work on fighting for Black people. Like, it's not about trying to save every race. It's nothing, and it's not to say that you hate other people. It's just we need to focus on ourselves and our own communities. Because when I look at PG County, or I'm looking at Baltimore, when I'm out these areas, I don't see nobody doing nothing out there. Basically, these areas that I'm from, I see Black people out here struggling, and I don't see, when I see Asian people help Asian people. When I see Hispanic people help Hispanic people. Majority, I'm not saying and I have all type of friends, like I said, the majority. Like, family, keeping it in the family, got everybody going to the construction job site, or everybody go to work at McDonald's. The whole crew is going to be there. And it ain't nothing wrong with that, sticking and keeping it in the family. Like, I don't got no problem with it. I'm just like, what's wrong with us doing the same thing? I get me a construction company. I'm bringing in cousin Bob, cousin Billy, cousin Ray, cousin, Tommy, whatever, Even though those is white folks' names, but hey. So, Black parents, the next key point is Black parents don't really teach Black children about systematic racism. So this is a hard one. A lot of people, they have kids, feel like, I've been around a lot of white people my whole entire life. I have a white stepfather, goofball, handful, well, ex-stepfather, but I've been in a lot of situations, let's say that, and believe me, I'm a person that I have some experience for a young person of a lot of things that make you think. But Black parents don't really teach Black children about systematic racism. That's the key point. So, as you grow up, as I grew up, my mother, my father, my stepfather, we ain't talking about no racism. They wasn't teaching us about that type of stuff, walking in and out at a house and walking, like how you go out there in the world and what you see and pay attention to this could happen. A lot of parents Black parents is not going to talk about that stuff, but I feel like other parents have taught their kids some of this stuff. I was just literally in a house recently, and I see Confederate flag, heritage not hate, blah blah blah, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, and I'm putting in, I'm working at my job, and I'm looking, I'm like, I'm like, I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm like, but let me just, scan this room, make sure nothing crazy going on, trying to see. And I'm thinking, this lady, she seemed pretty cool, was nice, not real, how you would think a person like that could be. Having that type of stuff, we don't call 911, we shoot type, But I'm listening. She seemed like a nice person, but I could tell she was just not there in the brain. Didn't have that knowledge of what was going on in the world, I would say. But I feel like this is just my view, and you can say opinion. I felt like that having that stuff was just passed down from somebody, and she was a little older, but I could just tell like it's because to me, if you have that type of flag, I mean, it's the heritage is hate, to be honest. But if you really want to try to fight that way, to make that something like logical into a good, whew, you will have a long time. I just wouldn't be able to agree with it. It's no good in it, and plus you lost that the war. So I mean, taking an L, that's kind of like why a lot of older folks, I talk to and chat with, they don't know how to take L's. They always want to keep on fighting. Like, you lost, let it go, move on. But being in that situation wasn't it was good to learn from. Also, it's good to still be alive because, people like that, might not want to trust to be around. And believe me, I didn't want to be there. So that I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad I got up out of there fast. And luckily, the person I work with knew that we was rolling and trying to go. So back to the main point is that you should teach your kids about racism. It's not going to be, it's not a bad thing. And I feel like a lot of people in these houses, in their homes, they love, let's try to, today everybody wants to put a band-aid on everything and hide everything and put it in a damn different little box, and then, let's not talk about that stuff, let's not do this stuff, let's not, and as when you gotta have kids, they go out there in the real world, and then something like this situation that should have been taught in the household hit them. They're just lost, or they're just running around in circles and just don't know what to do. And that's just not gonna happen in my household. And I don't think any child should go through that type of stuff and not know anything of what to do, or what they are around, or what this stuff is about. So you have to teach your kids about this stuff, because it's going on in the world, and it's no band-aid, there's no box you really can put it in. It's going to be here, and it's here. It's going to be out there. It's going to be on TV. It's going to be in your face in different ways. It could be in just a person that having more knowledge than you, and you could be a person that is not that smart, but you can tell and feel it when somebody's trying to be, I'm the man, I'm talking and with using them big old words and all that type of stuff, trying to make you feel dumb, but you know what's going on. Now, that's the thing. I think black parents definitely need to step it up with teaching their kids about the real world and what's going on. And the last thing I would say about parents, and when it comes to black parents and also parents in general, with these school systems, know what's going on. These special education programs, stop trying to get the money and robbing, getting slick, doing slick stuff and using your children for benefits. Like, start doing better for your children, because your children, you teach them the right way, they'll be the ones taking care of you, and you won't be, they won't hate you 20 years from now, trying to leave you in a busted up home, sitting there in a damn chair that's halfway broken, and you leaning and just hurt. But it's a lot to dive deep on when it comes to kids in school, and and just parents and connecting with their kids and just knowing, teaching your kids about what's going on in the world, because everything might be, people try to make things as like everything's fine and dandy and we have made change, and it's a lot of bullcrap that's still going on. Everything is equal and may never be equal, but the goal is to continue to fight to be equal. So that quote, I made that quote, and I'll say it one more time. Everything isn't equal and may never be equal, but the goal is to continue to fight to be equal. So my thing is, everybody has their fight. Everybody has their race. Everybody has their moment. However you want to put it. Everybody's fighting for something. And for example, when we wake up and we go to work, we want to feel like, everything's equal at work and stuff like that, but it might not be equal at work. This person might be making this and you might be making this, and you might be doing the same thing. But that's life. The thing is, you want to understand that. And a lot of people don't. They just sit there and just kind of cry about it and, and do nothing. But the thing is, you should fight. Continue your fight into being equal. Continue your fight into being where you want to be, because a lot of people, just give up and then go into a big old box. And in today's world, I feel like a lot of people are depressed. A lot of people are going through a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's still gonna be your life. It ain't nobody. I mean, somebody can help you, get you going again and stuff like that. But it's still going to be a lot of work that you will personally have to do. Nobody can walk your life for you, and they will never be able to do that. You have to walk your own life. And that is a problem with people today. People are so sensitive, crybabies. They're teaching their kids to be weak. Nobody's doing anything. Everybody want to depend on somebody. And that's not, and it's never going to be like that. You got to figure out your life. So the next thing in the book that I got, and this is all stuff that I got that came to me from the book that stood out to me and kind of brought me together, even on my own personal stuff, but also the book. So the dominant society likes to pretend that black people are hoarding resources through programs like affirmative action. So what I got from this book, affirmative action is a program of positive action undertaken with conviction and effort to overcome the present effects of past practices, policies, and barriers to equal employment opportunity, and to achieve the full and fair participation of women, minorities, and individuals with disabilities found to be. So, for example, me as a black man, affirmative action has definitely barely has done me, I would say, anything great or good, but I feel like it's been working for women, which is cool. This is kind of like what I'm getting from this book. And majority of it is white women, but you will see throughout time how some of this stuff works, because the book is about foundational Black American. So they will make it seem like we're the ones that's getting all these resources, but basically we're not. Every struggling group is getting all these resources, or every group that's fighting for something better is getting all these resources. Minorities, I just came from El Salvador and I deserve this and deserve that. Women, I have not gotten my equal pay, and of course I want women to get their equal pay, but we need this and we need that. Oh, my community, the gender, I need this and I that, and in the definition, as I guess they would put black men in the minorities, I guess. So I'm assuming, but but the thing is, I don't see nothing in there has been beneficial really to my for real community in a way for real, but. I mean, I can say, yeah, I'm not rocking with no affirmative action. This ain't really too good, but the thing is, learning about this stuff and breaking it down and seeing what really stands out. Like black parents, already discussed that. Special education, discussed that. Everything isn't equal. Discussed that the dominant society. Discussed that ethnic, racial, religious, sexual, and gender groups are usually, this is the minority. Minority. So far what I got out of this book is it's a little deeper. It's a lot. It could get all over the place, and it can get you thinking about a lot of things as well. So that's why I just did the video all over the place, because that's just what the book kind of took me, and is how it's just going to be. What I'm getting out of this book is about, so far, it's about kind of separating yourself as a person in America, a black person in America, from everybody else, and understanding what you go through and the things that you don't have and don't get, the things that kind of like you stand outish of being the last to get that last plate, to get that last, we're not getting the stuff that we deserve and need, but we're always the ones fighting for other people. And I know there's a lot of truth to that, and it's not to bash anybody else, but I'm gonna end it off with, and continue reading this book and break it down. But black people need to continue to learn and grow, and that's why I'm here. And this, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, and I'm gonna get into diving into some of this stuff more, to be able to understand it take it to another level, to be smarter and be better at it. So when I'm having this conversation with somebody else, I won't look like a dodo. And believe me, anybody can try to make you feel like a dodo, but of course, me, I'm doing the thing. I'm doing something that a lot of people don't do. I'm trying to learn and grow at the same time, and also share, so somebody else can dive into this stuff and be able to help me out and probably teach me a little bit more about it. But it's a lot of stuff that stands out, and I'm gonna end it with that. Keep on learning, keep on growing, and keeping it up, keeping it moving and grooving. But y'all have a wonderful day.